What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to get you a quick update before bed here. It's late for me, feeling the time crunch today. So a couple different updates, a few things that weren't in the last video. So first of all was this pitchfork, right? We put that in the group today, was putting it in there, taking the median of the fork right on time. We had a very nice 382 fib time that came in. And then from there, guys, we were talking about potential upside. And so the reason I'm going to talk a little more upside as well, we have taken the range after being rejected at the value area high, came down to basically the 618 here, pretty close. Front ran it and the point of control just a little bit, and then made this nice double bottom, and off we go. Now the move on this, the measured move, I should say, is as such, it's really only about, 35,500, which would imply just taking the all-time highs by a little bit and then down. Now, does that mean that the move is done? You could do several different things. You could do the trend-based fibs and say, well, my 1618 is at 38.28, the 1.272 coming in perfectly at the R2, all that stuff. You could start looking at that and speculating, and that's really all it is. For me, we are long, or at least I am long. I have taken some profits on those longs, but I've moved my stop underneath the weekly open, and now I'm just watching to see if we get continuation of the R2. You know that if we get past the R2, if you watched any of our previous videos, I am looking for $42,000 to $50,000 with the median of that guesstimation at 46,000 roughly. So that's where we're at on that. Now, there are some trappy areas potentially at the R2. What might that look like? Excuse me, don't know where that came from. So all-time high range, AB equals CD into a larger pullback after a pretty decent pullback right here, right? Same with right here at the 12.5K range, we had an AB equals CD into a head and shoulders and down. This one took a little more time, but this was the move that started the entire kickoff. And then right here in the range before that at the $10,000 range, this was a perfect one. This one played out to the hour, which I really liked, and we got a nice sell-off into the 618. Does that mean the trend is over? No. And then we did catch this one on the way up. I say we, but in the group I was working for before, this is one that I had presented and we caught. So gave some really nice opportunities for both longs and shorts, but it's not a move that's uncommon to Bitcoin. And I think it's something that we have to consider right here and be wary of. Bitcoin is seemingly want to continue the trend. There are some warning signs here and there. So what might that look like? Well, if we look at it from an AB equals CD standpoint, we can see that the 618 coming in here at the D leg would put us out a few days, but get us there fairly quickly into that $36,800 region. Same with right here on the time and price 1-to-1. So both of these are things to be aware of. Does that mean that it's going to sell off like crazy? No. I just think the 1-to-1 and the R2 here have a lot of confluence, and if you start throwing time in there at the same time, for lack of a better word, it begins to kind of add up for the potential to look at this as maybe this is a larger range that's forming, and we're just making that one final push, trap some longs, maybe a few more shorts are filled, and down we go. But until that move actually plays out, we won't know if that's going to happen. So for me, I am just keeping an eye on these ranges that we know are established, that we know are valid. Obviously, it was respecting them very well. I would love for them to continue for that reason, but you don't always get what you want. That's why we're long going into this, because if Bitcoin decides to trend going forward, we want to make sure we have positions. Obviously, I have a lot of spot Bitcoin. I have not taken all my spot Bitcoin out, but I have taken some at these levels just because it's just one of those things where you want to make sure you are taking some profits along the way, and you can always get long later. But the R2 is the next obvious resistance should we get there at $36,523. If we can hold this as support, I'm looking for the next range to be that 42 to $50,000 region. That's such a big range that we can narrow down. In the meantime, 46,000 is the median of it. So if you're unfamiliar with the channel, go back, watch my last couple videos. It will catch you up to date on those. Otherwise, I am looking at this as the potential for doing something like this, getting a pullback and then reevaluating what's going to happen from there. I do think that this is an area we're going to get a reaction to at the least. It does give you the 1-to-1 as well. Right here, this is in play, if I recall. This is the 1-to-1. And should we get this, I do think that it will be telling of whether or not we'll continue to the upside. The 1.618 coming in, we're at the $42,402 level. So that's what I've got for you guys right now. I am long. I've been holding that long. You know that we were looking for the potential of coming up into this upper range. The mini all-time high range is what I called it. I was looking for this point of control, and that was my final take profit. And then I'll leave some of that trade to run with the stop loss trailing, essentially just moving it up as we go. So thus far it's working out, and it's just an easy way to trade it. Oh, last thing here, I did have a question in the group. Not about the fork, even though the fork lines up nicely in either way, whether it's the 1-to-1 on time and price or the 618 in time and price right here. It was not the fork. Oh, it was linear regression channels. Twin Branch had a question about this, and it's not something I have a ton of knowledge on. I did watch a few videos on it, but this seems to get it fairly well here on the 1 hour. Just going in, hitting the linear regression tool here that's built into TradingView, but it does support the idea at the top of this channel we could be getting both in time and price a top right here. So I thought that was very interesting. I'm curious to see how it pans out, and I'll keep you guys up to date as it does. Just because those are fun things to learn about as we go. I'm always learning, and I think that everyone else in the space is too. And any good trader is always learning. So that's what I've really got for you guys. This is a very short update. Bitcoin is still doing bullish things, looking to potentially break the all-time high that we have here. If we break the all-time high, you guys know the target is about 36.5. I'm actually targeting between 36.5 and 36.8 next. So, all right, I will catch you guys in the next one.